slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam if you want to jam.
Everybody get up, time to slam now.
Welcome to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give your big jamming opinions. I am Troy to the max extreme.
I'm Micheal Jordan.
And this is what you've all been waiting for.
God.
We're diving into Operation...
Since birth.
We've been diving into Operation No Baby. This is our second dive in to this little theme episode we got going on. My pick last week...
Troy took this concept and turned it on its head by asking for his daughter to watch fucking Space Jam for some reason.
I don't think it was a bad idea.
Really? All right. We'll get to it.
So we'll get
At
to
the end
it.
there.
We'll get to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what she thinks of this, because I got some things that I thought.
So let's get into some stats first.
Shall we?
So this dropped November 15th, 1996. With a budget of $80 million in 1996 money. I thought that's a lot. Anyway, domestically, only made $90.4 million.
Really?
Yeah. Worldwide, $230.4 million.
Like, well, the world loves Micheal Jordan.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 38%. IMDb a 6.4 out of 10. Metacritic 59%. And Macy scribbling all over my shit. The Nut Gallery gives it 1.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Fun note that the marketing and not advertising for this, but
website. I know the website is still up.
The website is still up.
Yeah.
You can go visit that right now. I just did it a few days ago. And the merchandise for this movie is what really made this movie. That's why if you think the domestic box office is low, well, that the domestic box office means nothing compared to a merchandise, which made this Warner Brothers $6 billion.
I'm pretty sure I came across a Toon Squad jersey at, it might even been a fucking, what the hell is that? That place that has like the really cheap clothing.
Goodwill.
It's not Buckle, but it's like that fucking, I can't remember, but it's like, there's like a Toon Squad jersey that I was like, oh fuck, I should buy that shit. I'd fucking buy a Toon Squad jersey.
I wouldn't, but I'd let you.
Shit, I don't know. It's fun. We're having fun. It's a good time.
Would you want me to take the synopsis of this?
Please, Troy, because the aspects of this movie are insanity.
So this movie follows up-and-comer Micheal Jordan.
Up-and-comer? Troy?
Well, from where it starts, a bit of an up-and-comer.
I would say Christ-like deity.
Hold on, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. And it follows him through his exit, his retirement of basketball into a baseball career like his father had. And in that process, there's also mean little aliens coming down to try to steal the Looney Tunes for their amusement park.
Moron Mountain.
From Moron Mountain. And they challenge them to a basketball. Well, the Looney Tunes challenge the aliens to a basketball game.
No, Troy, please give us in great detail what leads to the events of this movie. That, for some reason, there's a failing amusement park in space.
Right. Moron Mountain.
That feels like the only way they can attract visitors is by kidnapping the Looney Tunes.
Right.
To where the only way they feel they can kidnap the Looney Tunes is by playing them in a game of basketball.
Right.
By which the aliens need to steal other basketball players' abilities.
Right.
To which then the Looney Tunes feel that they have to recruit Micheal Jordan.
Right.
That's the plot of this movie.
It's
That's like going from
It's
A
out
to
there.
B, but then going from A to Z to Y to X to B.
yeah.
Where you're like,
There's a bit
why
going
the
on in
fuck?
this.
Yeah, why are you going in so many different directions to get to what could be a very simple big aliens fighting Looney Tunes in a basketball game? They recruit Michael Jordan.
All the while, it's still kind of like a meta story about like how Michael Jordan will eventually quit baseball and go back to basketball at the same time. There's a lot going on in this movie.
Troy. My God.
I remember loving this movie as a kid.
I think I loved it too.
And on a rewatch, I love this movie.
Troy,
Even though
this movie is fucking stupid as fuck, and I loved every single second of it.
there were some parts that I noticed on this rewatch that I never picked up as a kid. Pretty much like how Michael Jordan is the fucking best human being that's ever
Troy,
been born in the world.
If this movie sucked Michael Jordan's dick any harder, it would not be attached to his body anymore.
It'd be sucked to a nub.
My God. This
This
man could do no wrong.
No.
Michael Jordan could sexually assault someone in this movie, and they'd be happy.
Michael Jordan could wear that weird Hitler mustache he did for a while in real life in this movie, and it would be okay.
Michael Jordan could eat an entire box of puppies, and they'd ask him if he was still hungry.
They'd feed him a box of kittens to slurp it down.
Yeah. Like, you seem like you're a little famished. Do you need some more? Do you need kittens? Do you need actual babies to eat, Michael Jordan?
God, I couldn't even believe the amount of Michael Jordan worship there is in this movie.
Michael Jordan is gone for an entire day, and his wife does not care.
Or notice.
Or even notice.
When he finally does come back, she's like, "What game? What game was he at?"
Yeah.
Like, not like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah. Not, have you know where your father is? It's, what game? Michael Jordan is such a big deal in this movie that when a spaceship lands, the bigger deal is that Michael Jordan's walking out of it.
My first note is the beginning of this movie is quite a big Michael Jordan vehicle. Like, that is quite the understatement, Troy.
Let's talk about when he's a kid.
Sure.
So when he's a kid, he's playing basketball at midnight, and his dad walks out, and the first thing he says is not, "What the fuck are you doing playing basketball at
Get
midnight?
your little ass in the house.
Go to bed, you little shit." It's, okay, well, just shoot till you miss, I guess.
Shoot till you miss.
Yeah. Oh my God, that dad has an iron constitution that he's not in like the fucking 60s beating his son's ass for playing basketball at past midnight.
Right. He's wearing a shirt that looks like he would whoop a kid's ass.
Yeah. I would give that man my kid to beat his ass to beat my kid's ass, because I'm like, you look like you know what you're doing.
He is dressed as if he beats wives and kids.
Like he just got done beating the wife and realized his kid was outside playing basketball.
Like, he's dressed like Sam Jackson in Black Snake Moan.
Yeah. Like, the only reason he's up at 1 o'clock in the morning is because he just finished a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And he heard
And just
something
hurled
happen
it against his wife's head.
Yeah. He's like, "You sit here, bitch. I'm going to find out what our kid's up to." Walks outside. "Oh, hey, Michael."
What are you doing out here? Playing some hoops?
His wife is bleeding on the floor, and he's asking his kid to shoot till he misses.
Anyway.
Family-friendly February, everybody.
That scene ends with little kid Michael Jordan going for the biggest dunk of his life into the best song in the world.
But before that, he's like, I'm going to go play for North Carolina. Okay, sure. Then I'm going to try and get in the NBA. Okay, sure. Then I'm going to go play baseball. The fuck? Like, all right, so you're going to...
Just like you, Dad.
You're going to build an entire NBA career just to play baseball.
Yeah, and you know what
That's like saying, hey, I'm going to go and become a rocket scientist so I can go be a plumber later.
So what's weird is that I guess I was like overthink the line a little bit. But like he's like, I'm going to go play for North Carolina. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty admirable thing to do. And then he's like, then I'm going to play for the NBA. Like, in the 60s, was the NBA a big thing?
I don't know.
Because didn't, like, the NBA really blow up in, like, the late 80s, early 90s? Like, to be, like, a thing that you really want to strive to play?
If his thing is, like, he wants to play basketball, then sure. Like, maybe he's got high aspirations. He wants to play for the NBA, for basketball. I'm not going to...
Don't argue sports with me. I don't know sports.
I don't know sports either, but this movie is it's for fucking kids, and they're going to play this whole thing where it's like, okay, he's Michael Jordan. Sure, the NBA might exist.
Right.
Okay, there you go. We'll have him be like, oh yeah, and I want to play for the NBA. All right, we know him for that. Perfect.
Right. We've set up his life.
Yeah. He's realized his future even when he was that small.
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
But then to be like, then I'm going to go play baseball, where it's like, motherfucker, if you want to play baseball, play fucking baseball. Don't be like, I'm going to use my awesome basketball career to springboard me to my baseball career. That's stupid.
Well, yes, that is stupid, but also fucking happened in real life.
It did. And you know how it turned out?
Terribly.
Yeah. Even when they do the press conference for him retiring and going into baseball, they were like, so Michael, what position are you going to take? He's like, well, when I was a kid, I was a pitcher, but I don't think I'm good enough for that, so I'll just be in the outfield. Where it's like, so outfielders are just fucking shit? Which I guess they are. But like, he's like, look, I'm a realist. I realize I'm not the best baseball player. It's like, no, you're a dog shit baseball player. You shouldn't even do this.
What I thought was admirable, though, is that they do, like, he wasn't the best baseball player by a long shot in real life.
Yeah.
And they just mirror that in the movie.
No.
Like, he's got enough, like...
Fuck that. No, this is him, like, people dogged on him a fuck ton when he was a baseball player, so this is him being like, hey, I got a sense of humor about it, too. It, like, struck me as, like, when people that don't have a sense of humor about themselves act like they have a sense of humor about themselves. Where it's like, they still have to show how fucking badass they are, despite the fact that they're not good at it.
I can see that. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do... there's a line of thought in there that I do agree with. Because even though, like, he's trying to shit on himself in the movie, not that he wrote the movie or anything.
Yeah.
But even, like, as he strikes out, his teammate was like, see that strikeout, Mike? That was a good strikeout.
No, but that's like, that's like overplaying. Like, they're so into Michael.
Right.
They want him to succeed no matter what. They just love him so much. But that's like comedy for the movie. No, this movie just plays up where it's like, but he's such a good guy. He's so fucking good. He's so fucking cool. Where it's like, but he was a shitty fucking baseball player.
And and if I could just back up a little bit, I think the only reason he made this movie was to get out of gambling debt.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Look, Michael Jordan might be a piece of shit. You would not know from this movie.
No.
Because this movie is constantly, like, rides his dick so goddamn hard the whole time.
Yeah.
But, my God. It even when Michael Jordan's making fun of himself, he still has to throw in things where it's like, I got a hot wife. I got a bunch of kids. I'm really good at basketball. I'm not good at this one thing, but I'm better than at every other aspect of my life than you. Or you're like, okay, Michael, we get it. Fuck. Like, it just strikes me as one of those movies where like you can't go a single second without him being like, yeah, but I got this too. I mean, I fucked this up, but I do this.
They do a lot of ego strokes in this movie.
Oh my god.
And that was like the one thing I never realized as a kid. Because like as a kid, like when this came out, he was like at the peak of his like career. Like he was
about to go. Yeah, he was like about to go back into basketball because baseball fucked him up so bad.
And before that, he was like the biggest basketball player alive.
Yeah. He's like already won like 5 championships at this point.
Right.
Where you're like, okay, whatever, dude.
And like and living in Illinois, like with the Chicago Bulls, like it was a fucking big deal. Like so much so that there's like people that were in our class that just jerked him off as kids. Like he was the best fucking dude in the world. And I'm pretty
sure one of our classmates like dressed as him for Halloween. And they might have wore blackface.
Oh, no.
For it.
Oh, let's say his full name and address.
Yes, do it right now.
Hopefully he runs for political office soon. Oh, my God. But yeah, that being said, I still had fun with this movie.
Yeah, no, this movie is a fucking insanity train wreck from start to finish.
Yes.
I had so much fun watching this.
So did I. Let me see what else. I don't have that many notes on my phone. I have more written down. So anyway, when the Monstars agree to this challenge by the Looney Tunes that they have to play a basketball game. The Looney Tunes challenge them to a basketball game, if you don't know, because they're short little aliens that can't jump high and they think it's going to be an easy win.
Yeah.
What they don't know is that these aliens can somehow turn into a vaporous goo and absorb people's souls through their body, making them talentless hacks.
They can absorb their talent into a basketball.
No, they don't do it at first. They just absorb the talent right away.
Yeah,
don't they?
and then they go through the basket. Like, why don't they just absorb the talent there? They had to absorb the talent and then go into a basketball and then come out of the basketball.
I don't know. It seems like they shouldn't have any issues doing anything if they can turn into a vaporous goo.
Yeah. Why don't they just possess the Looney Tunes as the vaporous goo?
Right.
And then take that to fucking Moron Mountain.
Right. Why do this whole runaround?
If you can take someone's talent, why don't you just take possess all the Looney Tunes, take their talent, and put it in other things?
Right. If you're these small aliens, and you can turn into a vaporous goo, why are you just going into your boss and just having him stop being such an asshole?
Yeah. Why don't you liquefy your boss via vaporous goo?
I want to see how many times I can say vaporous goo in this. Because it only happens once in the movie, when that happens next to Dan Castellaneta at this basketball game.
That's right. The guy from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Dan Castellaneta.
Anyway, so they absorb all these, all this talent from, like, I guess, top basketball stars of the time.
The only ones I could recognize was Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing.
That's okay, so I knew him
and Muggsy Bogues just because he's so small.
Right. And the other two I have written down, Larry Johnson and Sean Bradley. And I couldn't tell you which one was which.
Cool.
Anyway.
That's so cool.
Why wasn't one of them Shaq?
Yeah! Where the fuck was Shaq? Was Shaq like, I should just be the star. I'm too big. I'm too big to be a Monstar.
I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense to me. Two of them could have been Shaq for all I care.
What about Magic Johnson? Or did he have AIDS at this point?
Oh, he's full-blown AIDS.
Oh, he's full-blown AIDS right now?
I think so. I think he was an older... I think he's like Larry Bird's generation. Who Larry Bird plays with Bill Murray.
We'll talk about that golf scene.
I'm really close to that golf scene already because I love that golf scene.
Oof, I love that golf scene.
Let's just talk about the golf scene.
Oh, my God.
So... It's a golf game with Micheal Jordan, Larry Bird, and Bill Murray.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Wayne Knight's job was to make Micheal Jordan entertaining in this. Because Wayne Knight is in almost every single scene with Micheal Jordan when he's not with the Looney Tunes.
That's true.
Because they're just like, Micheal Jordan is a fucking train wreck of an actor. We need somebody.
See? I don't think he's that bad in this. Everyone says that he's a bad actor in this, and I disagree with them.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
All right.
Because he's done, like, is he, like, stellar? No.
Yeah.
But I think he knows his limits. And I think they put him in the right vehicle for him to not have to go out and, like, be another person. He's playing himself. And he's probably acting in front of a lot of green screen.
Yeah.
And there's really no difference between that and him reacting with other live people.
Which is a positive?
Yes, because I think it's relatively good. I don't think he comes off as bad. I don't think he comes off as an experienced actor, but I don't think he comes off as a bad actor.
See,
and I will challenge anybody that wants to argue that.
I think the only reason like it feels like he's not as bad as what he really is because they give him one thing to do, and that is just be like, huh? The entire movie. That's why their initial thing is they throw Wayne Knight in there to act like a fucking idiot the whole time, so that like he just has like one mode of, you're weird. Huh?
That's fine.
Okay.
I still don't think he's bad. I don't think the Shaq is a worse actor.
All right. Next week I'm gonna have Macy watch Steel.
Steel is fucking awful. It is bad.
Operation No Baby episode 4. We're doing Steel.
So anyway, golf game.
Yeah.
Let's go on with the golf game.
Oh my god. This makes me wish Bill Murray was in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is the fucking best person in this whole movie.
Yes.
Because he's just, the whole time he's just kind of like bragging himself up like how he should be in the NBA.
Uh-huh.
And like, my favorite line of his is like, after Micheal Jordan gets sucked up in the golf hole, and him and Larry Bird are driving off in the car, and he's like, hey Larry, I gave us both a -1 because there was some pretty crazy existential things that happened back there. We weren't we're in the right head to do that last shot. Where it's like
Larry's like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, his main like after watching a man get sucked into a hole and disappear completely, his main objective was to make sure he got a pretty decent golf score on that par 3.
Right. One of my notes is that almost exactly that. I like how Larry Bird and Bill Murray barely reacted when MJ got sucked into a hole. In fact, they just said he did it to get away from Wayne Knight.
Yeah. Like, and then they've even finished the hole because they were like, "Oh, I just handicapped us and gave us a -1 each." It's like they kept the game going after Micheal Jordan got sucked into a. And it took more than one shot because they were like, I just gave us. Like, if they would have made that last shot, they would have got a -1.
Right.
So they both missed their shot. And they were like, fuck it. We were not in the right heads after watching a man get sucked into a hole. So I just said that we both got it in another shot.
As they're driving off, you know, they probably tried to do it because they're trying to get away from that Stan fella. Yeah. He was following me around. I tried to get away from him too. And then he just goes on and then probably play the rest of the 18 holes.
Yeah. They probably kept the game going.
I did appreciate that this wasn't as like a kiddie-like humor as I thought it was going to be going in.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen this in probably like, I don't even know, 15
During the
years.
game itself, there's a Pulp Fiction reference.
Yeah.
Where, like,
There's
the fuck?
There's also a joke where like a psychiatrist is talking to one of the basketball players that lost their talent. I think it's Patrick Ewing, and he's like, "Is this the only portion of your life that you feel unable to perform?" And he's like, "Yes." And it's like, is that a sex joke?
Yeah, these basketball players ain't fucking.
So like, I did appreciate that it wasn't just like kiddie level humor.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Looney Tunes are rather violent themselves, I thought it was really refreshing. I'm like, no, what, this plays to all audiences. And like, I grew up on like old Looney Tune adventures where they're trying to blow each other up and they're hitting each other in the head with mallets and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I really liked that aspect of this, where it's not just like stuff you see on TV now, where it's sanitized and stuff like that. I don't want to go on a huge rant about that, but
I love the Looney Tunes and shit, but I just love Micheal Jordan in this world because he's just so fucking stone-faced to this whole shit. They'll have like the Looney Tunes do like 9 or 10 crazy fucking things around him, and then just do like a zoom in on his face where he's like, "You guys are crazy."
That's right.
What's going on here?
Nothing. Bugs, what's going on here?
Motherfucker got sucked down a golf hole into Warner Brothers land, and he's like, "What's going on? This is pretty crazy.
There's some crazy stuff here, right?
Who are you?
Go get my gym shorts.
Where's my gym shorts? North Carolina. Blah blah blah. Love my North Carolina."
I have some more fun facts about this movie, JT, if you would let me read some of these.
Let me hear.
Not only did this movie self-grandize Micheal Jordan, but Warner Brothers also did the same thing where they actually built him a basketball court in order to keep him happy on set. So
I can believe it because there's so many fucking things. They lovingly shoot the fuck out of him when he's playing basketball, when he gets his goddamn shorts and shit.
Yep.
Like, everyone is like... I'm pretty sure I almost watched a Looney Tune jerk off when he's playing basketball. They have the face like they're about to ready to just pound pud. When they're watching Micheal Jordan just fucking slam dunk all the time.
Slam dunk their dicks.
Yeah.
It's Foghorn, is who you're thinking of.
Yeah, Foghorn wanted to fuck the shit out of Micheal Jordan. I say, why don't you fuck me in the ass?
I say, sit on my face. More fun facts is the gym that the Looney Tunes play in is the Schlesinger Gym, and that's named after Leon Schlesinger, who first produced the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. So good to him. There's also... Okay, so the little aliens in this, they actually have names. Did you read about this?
I saw they had names for themselves, and they also had names for when they were big too.
So their names are Pound, that's the orange one.
God.
Bang is the green one. Naught is the magenta one. Bupkis is the purple one. And Blanco is the blue one.
Jesus.
And together, their, I guess, race of things are called the Nerdlucks. Which all of those are never said in the movie.
No. I have no idea what the fuck they are. There's even parts in this when, like, while they're playing the game, weird pale versions of themselves are serving Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, where'd they come from? Aren't they the players?
No, I guess they're just a race of beings that are just enslaved by Danny DeVito's character.
Like, they like presented the pale versions of them where it's like, wait, so they're not playing? So what, are their bodies being borrowed by the essence of the basketball players that are playing?
Nah, they're just more slaves.
So he owns pale versions of the colorful ones from the beginning?
Yeah.
And now the pale ones are being his slaves while the colorful ones are playing the game.
Yes. As the Monstars.
But the pale ones act like the colorful ones from the beginning, so they're not the colorful ones.
I don't think so. I think they're just more of them.
But they act like...
They all act the same.
I don't know what's but no, they even like have them laid out like they're the pale versions of the guys that are playing
I don't really remember this anyway, so I'm not going to argue it.
I just want to know what those pale ones were.
There's no body splitting in this. They just grow to be the big ones or they shrink to be the small ones. There's no body splitting in this.
I don't know.
There's not another layer to
Troy,
this.
It hurts.
It shouldn't hurt that much.
This movie hurts.
If you're not haven't gotten into the Micheal Jordan jerk-off fest yet, there is a line in this where one of them says, "Nice shoes" to Micheal Jordan, because at that point in time, he's also showing off his new shoe that came out, and it is the Air Jordan XI. So those are the shoes that he was wearing to promote in this movie.
Yeah, even so much so that one of the shoes was up on a pedestal in his room.
Yes.
Where it's like, why is one of your shoes sitting on a coffee table and the other one is sitting high on a pedestal?
Yes.
Also, did you catch that when Bugs and Daffy go to get his shit, there's literally a scene where someone is wearing like a gray sleeve with a white glove, and they just grab his shit and throw it in a bag.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Instead of just animating it?
Yeah, they literally just tape someone with like a white glove with a gray sleeve, and they just grab his shoes and throw it in a bag.
Huh. No, I didn't. I'll have to go back and check that out.
Yeah, it's
blatant.
It's blatant.
Damn.
He looks like a 40-year-old overweight man, because it's like it looks nothing like Bugs' arm at all.
I don't know how I missed that.
It's terrible.
Well, how about it? Well, at this point, C Danger has also walked in on me watching Space Jam and is wondering why I'm watching Space Jam. So I've probably had to be explaining myself during this whole time. This is the first appearance of Lola Bunny.
Yeah. Probably the reason for furries now. God.
When Chelsea was asking me about, she doesn't like Lola Bunny because she said she was too sexualized in this.
My God.
And I'm like, you're not wrong. But if you want to see too sexualized, just check the internet and just search Lola Bunny porn.
Oh.
So she did, and she's like, I am appalled at what I've just searched on the internet.
I'm pretty sure her jersey's a half shirt.
It is.
Oh.
And her shorts are just like the booty shorts.
My God.
Yeah. There is still Lola Bunny smut on the internet being created to this day. But if the first appearance ever tickles your fancy, Space Jam is the movie to watch.
Oh my God.
So R. Kelly wrote a song for this.
He did. It's the first thing you hear when the movie starts.
It may be troublesome now to listen to that,
yeah.
but it won a ton of awards after it came out, and it was a huge hit. In fact, not only R. Kelly had a lot of good...
The Fly Like an Eagle song is also pretty prevalent too.
It got pretty big, but the whole soundtrack did amazing.
Yeah.
To go 6 times platinum.
Jesus Christ.
I found that a very interesting fact, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, because that's really all I wanted to listen to the other day when me and my boss were at work, and like the rest of our management team like was not there.
Yeah.
There's usually 5 people there.
Yeah.
And it was just me and this other guy. And we kind of got hosed on a Friday when we got to have everything all cleaned up.
Yep.
And we ended up getting all cleaned up early.
Yeah.
And a running joke of the day is that we gave riveting speeches in the morning and then played jock jams and the Space Jam soundtrack all day. God. Unbeknownst of me actually picking Space Jam like the next week to watch for this show.
Oh yeah, this movie is so fucking 90s in terms of the music.
It's the most 90s
sickening.
Thing. But I love this soundtrack because every song that came on, I'm like, I fucking can't get enough of it.
Oh yeah, every song from that soundtrack is like fucking ridiculous.
Oh my. And I think I've gone through most of my notes, but like, so what do you have anything else?
like
I know I got more to talk about the movie, but do you have
Yeah.
anything like
the game
specific?
itself is like fouls aplenty.
Yes.
They're not playing basketball. They're playing Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome version of basketball.
Right.
Just beating the fuck out of each other.
Right. There's literally points where they shoot their teeth out
Yeah.
with guns.
Yeah, guns are being used in this game of basketball.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And
It's great. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm like, I love this.
I fucking love whoever did the voice of Daffy in this. Because I can tell that it's not the guy that always does Daffy.
Mel Blanc.
But yeah, the guy who does Daffy in this has the amazing comedic timing. Everything Daffy does in this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was looking up the voice actors. I think it might have been Billy West. I'm not sure.
Oh my God, he's so fucking good. There's like a scene when Micheal Jordan's giving him that pep talk, and the whole time Daffy's like, okay, yeah, sure, oh, heard that before. All right, like I was losing my shit because Daffy was just like fucking chiming in on every single inspirational like quote Micheal Jordan was trying to lay on him, and he's just like, sure, okay, whatever, yeah, oh, cool, yeah, all right. It's so good. Even when like Bill Murray shows up at the end, like the interactions between Bill Murray and Daffy Duck are fucking hysterical. We're like, Bill Murray's like giving him advice, and Daffy's like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel ya. Like, I want to see a movie between the fucking Daffy Duck from Space Jam and Bill Murray, because they're like they're like 2 or 3 interactions with each other. I was loving every second of it.
D. Bradley Baker is a voice actor.
Yeah.
And he did Daffy Duck, the Tasmanian Devil, and the Bull in this.
Yeah.
Billy West did Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. Billy West is the guy who does Fry's voice from Futurama.
Yeah, and he's also Ren and Stimpy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But, man, I don't know. Daffy, like, Bugs Bunny was fine. Bugs Bunny was Bugs Bunny. But Daffy Duck, like, everything he was doing in this, like, even when he was, like, talking with Bugs Bunny about, like, all their merchandising and shit, he's like, yeah, we're getting screwed. Like, he's just, like, he has this, like,
We
weird...
need to talk to our agents. We're getting screwed.
Yeah, like, he has, like, this nonchalantness about himself when it's, like, he knows, like, the right things to say, where I'm like, you're my favorite character in this scene right now. It's like,
This scene and every scene.
yeah, like, every time Daffy Duck's on there, like, he just... I don't know if it's just, like, how he delivers the lines or the lines they give him, but, like, Daffy Duck is, like, the best in this movie.
Did you see that the voice actors for all the Looney Tunes, it was end up going to be... So Mel Blanc at this point, I think, has passed away when this movie came out. But they were... his son is also a voice actor. And he was going to voice, like, all the Looney Tunes, because Mel Blanc always did.
Yeah.
But they couldn't come to a contract agreement, and so... his son, like, opted out.
Yeah.
So they had to find, like, I think up to 4 or 5 voice actors to do the like, everybody, all the Looney Tunes voices.
Jesus.
But it was originally just going to be one person doing all of them.
My God.
Yeah. So, like, that's insane. But, like, that's all the Looney Tunes was all just one person before this movie.
Yeah.
And so I find that amazing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Fucking Mel Blanc is, like, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
God. That's I'm just gonna double back to, like, the Lego movie a little bit.
Okay.
So, like, I really enjoy, like, a very good voice actor, like Billy West.
Yeah.
And who's the guy who does Bender's voice?
Oh fuck.
He's, like, a super popular one.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
It'll come to me later. But anyway, they do, like, 100 voices, right?
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And it kind of, like, I like sometimes when they use celebrity voices for things as, like, a cameo for something. Like, say, like, Jonah Hill for, like, Green Lantern in the Lego movie. That's really funny. But, like, really, it bothers me a little bit that a lot of celebrity voices are John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio.
Thank
God
you.
damn it. I was like, just like pulled it up right when you said it.
But it kind of drives me crazy a little bit that like all these celebrities take over all these huge voice acting roles
Yeah.
when they really only have like one note
Yeah.
to play.
There was like that documentary that came out where they like interviewed a whole bunch of people that just do voices, and
Right.
it's like there's such a different process
Yeah.
that goes into voice acting as opposed to actual acting.
Yeah.
Cause like fucking that's why I love Mark Hamill so much. Is like
Yeah.
he has it down to a T. He can like voice so much shit
Yeah.
and get away with it.
Right.
Where it's like he can look at someone and make a voice for that character and make it work.
Right. There's only like a select few people that their voices are so unique that I don't mind when they go into animation. It's like people like Keith David who have that like really gravelly low voice. But then otherwise, like I really appreciate an amazing voice actor that have this like huge range of things.
Yeah.
And just to keep them all straight in your head.
Oh yeah.
To like, yeah, I do like 50 voices for television every week.
Yeah, and it's a voice that's not your voice to keep that going throughout.
I know. So anyway, that's a tangent that I wanted to go on, but I can't remember what that documentary is called, but it's a good documentary because it's got people like John DiMaggio and I think Billy West and like Phil Lamar.
Yeah,
and a few select other people. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a good documentary.
Even the guy that does the voice for like Rick and Morty, because he does the voice for both Rick and Morty, doesn't he?
Yeah, like Justin Roiland or something like that. Yeah,
so he's like fucking good too. Like it's just like those people that know how to like twinge their voice in certain ways where they can play like 5 or 6 different things and like perfectly.
Yeah,
where you can't tell it's the same person.
Exactly.
It's like Jesus Christ.
It's really good. I really love it. So anyway, Michael Jordan wins the basketball game because he
and then he
tricked him with the secret
He lands
stuff.
at his baseball game in a spaceship, and no one gives a shit about the spaceship. They're just in love with Michael Jordan.
Right, and then he goes back to playing basketball and just killing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Space Jam.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's been out since '96. It was like the biggest thing when we were kids for a while.
Yeah.
Because even when it came out on like home release, it was like an even bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't remember seeing this in the theater.
I owned it. I know I owned it on. I had it in that fucking big plastic foldable VHS holder.
Yeah, me too. But I don't remember in '96. I might have seen it in the theater, but I don't remember going. I definitely remember seeing it at home in the big, puffy, plastic fucking VHS case, like over and over and over again.
This might have been one of my go to see it in a small town close to us, and then go have Pizza Hut afterwards things.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, if I were to put myself in my parents' shoes, and this was on all the time, I don't think this would be one that I'd be, like, bummed out that it was on.
Yeah.
Like, granted, now I'm watching, like, man, they're really fucking jerking Michael Jordan off in this. Not only because, like, even at one point, Wayne Knight, like, lists off all the endorsement deals that he has at that point in time.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, like, I get it, you're popular.
Yeah. There's no way in fuck Michael Jordan wasn't, like, fucking people behind his wife's back or shit. It's like,
I don't know.
That dude had to have the ego the size of a fucking planet at this point. Even, like, just based on how this movie treats him, where it's like, Michael Jordan, oh my God, Michael Jordan, you're so fucking awesome. It's like, how the fuck does this man get by and not feel like he's God's gift to everything?
I know. Like, it was like a perfect storm of basketball being huge at that point in time.
Yeah.
Especially for Chicago.
Yeah.
And then also Michael Jordan being the best player in the league at that point in time too. And like for years on end.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn, like making millions and millions, like endorsement deals like up the fucking ass.
Yeah.
Even endorsement deals still. Because he really hasn't had any public like things that come out against him, really.
No. Like I think he owns the Washington Wizards, doesn't he?
Well, I know he did at one point.
He owns some kind of basketball team or something.
I don't know if he still, but I know he did like buy the Wizards.
Yeah.
I think, after he retired, but he's never had like any weird sex scandal come out or anything.
But
he's had
heard
the gambling issues and all that kind of
I've
stuff.
heard rumors that people say that like when you're like one-on-one with him, he's like unbearable.
Oh, really?
Like I think he believes his own shit, his own bullshit. Where it's like,
because probably everyone talked to him like Wayne Knight for his whole
life.
Everyone.
Everyone probably treats him like how everyone fucking treats him in Space Jam. Like I can't see anyone growing up normal if they grew up the way that fucking Space Jam treats him.
Yeah. And that was made even after he was fucking the hottest.
Like Michael
shit.
Jordan probably saw this and was like, yeah, seems like normal day for me.
Yeah.
God.
It's sickening.
Damn it.
So there's been a rumor of a Space Jam 2 coming out ever since like 1998.
Yeah.
And nothing has ever gotten to production. But apparently there's something...
It's getting close now with like LeBron James, I guess.
But like because I was kind of reading up on it because I'm like, where is that at? Because I keep hearing about that like every year that like, oh, this is coming. It's coming. And now that LeBron James is doing more acting stuff that he's supposed to be in this or whatever. But I don't think now that it's been so long, they don't have like a director or anything lined up now.
Like, I guess the reason why he wanted to get traded to the Lakers is so that he could do more acting.
Because he'd be in L.A.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In L.A.
In L.A.
In L.A. That's a Letterkenny thing. You gotta watch Letterkenny, Troy.
Ah, god damn it.
Yeah.
There's so many things I gotta watch.
Love getting coffee in L.A.
All right. I'll watch all of Letterkenny.
Everyone goes jogging in L.A.
But yeah, Space Jam, regardless of all the shit talk we did of Michael Jordan to bring him down to earth, I really think it's a super fun movie.
It's insane. I think it's fun because it's so fucking insane.
Like, just to tell the premise of the movie is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But watching it, I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever.
This movie stops giving a shit so much that at the very end they throw Bill Murray in. And they're like, how'd you get here? And he's like, I talked to producers and they said that I could come in.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, okay.
Which, yeah, it's like a weird fucking inside joke because it's the producer's Ivan Reitman, who he's like friends with. Yeah. And you know what also fucked me up when I was a kid? When Bill Murray shows up at that basketball game and the Danny DeVito alien is like, I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture.
Yes!
Like, that joke fucked me up as a kid because I thought Bill Murray was Dan Aykroyd for years.
That's right. He calls him Dan Aykroyd.
Well, he doesn't call him Dan Aykroyd. It's like a fun joke at like.
Yeah.
They've been in all these movies.
Oh yeah,
because they're
in movies. Yeah, they're in movies together all the time, so they always get like, misconstrued.
So it was like it's like a joke for the adults, but like that fucked me up for years. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it's funny. It's Dan Aykroyd. Why are they calling him Bill? But
I just love that that they just insinuate Michael Jordan is randomly friends with Bill Murray in this just to put Bill Murray in it.
I like Bill Murray in it.
Dude,
I
he's amazing.
Without it.
Everything about it. Like, that whole golf scene is just shit that people yell when I golf with them all the time. Like, get in the hole! Oh, it's close! Oh, you got it now. Look out. Like, you want to put some action on this? It's just a bunch of like golf terms that like 3 middle-aged men would say when they're golfing with each other.
Oh my god, don't say put any action on that to Michael Jordan. He just bet his new house.
Oh god, yeah, no shit.
He has to get another sponsorship somewhere.
Yeah, I'll put a little action on that.
I got a bunch of Hanes money coming my way. So anyway, yeah, I have a split decision on this on what to make it, but I'd give this movie like a solid, strong B+.
Yeah, I'll give it.
It's super fun, but like watching it as an adult, you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
they're stroking him so hard in this. But that was the time, man. It was a different time.
I will probably go pretty close to a B+, just with with the idea that this movie is so fucking bad that it's gone back around to being pretty good to watch.
Yes.
'Cause
Yeah.
you're literally watching a movie perform oral sex on a pro athlete
Yes.
for an hour and a half.
Yes. That's not wrong at all. It
Using Looney Tunes to get kids involved.
yes. Which should be an illegal thing.
Because I was watching and I was like, I want more Looney Tunes stuff. But then like the Looney Tunes stuff would take a back seat to talk about how amazing Micheal Jordan is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, can the Looney Tunes people do more Looney Tunes stuff? No, we need to talk about Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan's North Carolina college career in basketball. Okay, I just want to watch Wile E. Coyote blow himself up. No! Shut up! The Bulls! Okay, sorry.
All right, sorry.
I kind of really want to watch Bugs Bunny kind of fool Elmer Fudd. Michael Jordan went to North Carolina for college. You should know that.
He wore shorts under his other shorts every game.
He wore his shorts from North Carolina underneath his Chicago shorts for good luck. Okay, can I watch
every game?
No, but I want to watch
Every game.
Can I see like Roadrunner and Elmer?
North Carolina.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's literally this movie.
Wheaties, Nike.
Yeah.
Big Mac, McDonald's.
So Space Jam. It's pretty much a giant jerk off session for Michael Jordan with a few Looney Tunes things mixed in.
Macy's opinion,
Yeah.
positive.
Really?
With a caveat
Yeah.
that anytime it jumped back to like real life stuff, she was out.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Looney Tunes stuff, she's all on board. She's on your
All right.
she's on your page right
Yeah.
here. Wanted to see more Looney Tunes
All right.
stuff. But every time that was on, she was glued. Didn't move, stood in front of the TV.
Yeah.
Didn't watch. But anytime it like jumped back to like real life stuff, she kind of wandered out.
Okay.
So, I consider it a win because there's some animated stuff that she doesn't have patience for and will walk away from. And she never walked away during the animated portions of this, so it's a win.
Okay. I don't know if there's a place that's playing it that's free for streaming, but I kind of want us to see Looney Tunes back in action.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've heard like people shit all over it, but I think it's a more accurate representation of like what it would be like in like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit scenario where it's Looney Tunes in the real world.
Okay.
Because there are some fun moments in it.
Yeah.
And they have Steve Martin as like the head of Acme in it.
I don't remember much of it at all. I remember seeing it and I think liking it, but I was doing some research when I was doing research of the sequel to Space Jam.
Yeah.
And they wanted to greenlight something so fast because Space Jam overall was a pretty big success and it's like raking in a bunch of money with merch and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That they wanted to do a ton of other sports like themed movies with the Looney Tunes.
God.
Even like one with Jeff Gordon with like NASCAR and it was called something else, something like car related jam. Or they want to do one with Tiger Woods or
Oh my God.
How
the fuck would they make Looney Tunes golf be interesting?
Let me just see if I can pull up the wiki on this because it was shocking. Like what they had. You will be sickened when you hear this.
Ugh.
I'm going to pull it up right now. Sequel news. Okay, I think I have it here. Okay. I'm going to read this verbatim of what not Nickelodeon, what Wikipedia says.
Yeah.
A sequel to Space Jam was planned as early as 1998. As development began, Space Jam 2 was going to involve a new basketball competition between the Looney Tunes and a new villain named Berserko.
Oh no.
Artist Bob Camp was tasked with designing Berserko and his henchmen, Joe Picta, who directed Space Jam, would return to direct, and Spike Brandt and Tony Cervone signed on as the animation supervisors, blah, 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 blah. Micheal Jordan did not agree to star in the sequel. According to Camp, the producer lied to design artists by claiming that Jordan had signed on in order to keep the development going. Warner Brothers eventually canceled plans for Space Jam 2 and then re-entered development as Spy Jam, and it was to star Jackie Chan in a different script. The studio was also planning a film called Race Jam, which would have starred Jeff Gordon.
No.
Additionally, Space Jam director Joe Picta revealed that following the film's first success, he had been pitched a story for a sequel that would have starred professional golfer Tiger Woods, with Jordan in a smaller role. Picta explained how the idea came from an out-of-studio script conference with people who worked on the original, blah, 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 blah.
God.
Yeah.
Hollywood is such a fucking whore.
Yeah, okay, so producer Ivan Reitman was reportedly in favor of a film which would again star Jordan. The follow-up films were ultimately canceled in favor of Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah.
It came out in 2003. Oh, here we go. A film titled Skate Jam was in early development with Tony Hawk in the starring role.
no!
Plans were underway for a production to begin immediately following the release of Looney Tunes Back in Action, but was canceled given the poor critical and financial reception of the film.
Oh,
Isn't that hurtful?
Hollywood is such a fucking whore.
Yes.
They don't give a fuck about anything.
I mean, technically their job is to make money.
It is,
and to
but
strike
it's just
while
like,
the iron is hot.
oh my god!
But it is sickening once they start
They
like,
literally
just
have the
diluting
worst-
the idea.
They have the worst ideas.
Yes.
Ugh, so bad.
So bad. But anyway, I think it's time to about wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
So JT, if people want to welcome to the jam with you online, where can they do that?
Everybody get up and find me at Bucky41 on Twitter, also Bucky4 on Instagram, and him at Bucky4 on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at Short of the Max, where you can find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. You can find all of our episodes uploaded onto reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as a multitude of other sites. You can find them all on your podcatchers. But you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts. A rating review helps us there, because if you like the show, it helps other people find the show. And you can write into the show, doing so at reviewpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
That's all of the plugs. Coming up
All right.
Thursday,
we are diving into, well, you know and love Troy, Paddington,
yes.
the first. Neither of us have seen it.
No.
I have not seen Paddington 2. You have seen Paddington 2.
Yes.
Neither of us have seen Paddington. Really curious to see how that turns out.
Yes.
Leading up to Paddington 2.
Yes.
For our family-friendly February.
Yes. So we got a bunch of fun things planned.
Yeah.
We for next Monday, we'll let you know online what we're going to be reviewing.
Okay. Or we could just tell you on Thursday, since you'll have time to watch it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We can do that.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what comes up.
Me too. Me too.
Because you're holding a lot of the suggestions pretty close to the vest, Troy.
Well, not they. Some of them have been made on public on Twitter.
Yeah.
I haven't been meaning to do that. I could have been telling you this whole time.
Yeah.
I just.
I don't know.
If we're gonna pick them out randomly out of a hat, I'm just like, yeah. Whatever.
And I have some that I've come across where I might throw my 2 cents in. You could throw your 2 cents in too.
Sure.
Try and find some stuff. Free streaming that we can unload
Yes.
to the masses.
That's right.
That's family friendly
That's right.
in February.
That's right. So that's what we got going on. So let's wrap up the show.
Let's do it.
Until next time, I've been Short of Max Extreme.
I am JG3K.
And we are off.